It is November 11, 2017, and it is time for Reflections of Psalm 23. Well, how did I do this week? I'm actually a bit disappointed with myself and how I handled this verse reading throughout the week. I found myself not always paying attention when I was reading the verse, almost as if I was just doing this as a rote ritual. And I guess I was often put off reflection, not always often as I should, and kind of later in the day than I would like. I even thought about, should I even make a follow-up video? But I've decided to make a bad video now so that I can make an even better video later. So, Psalm 23 verses 1 through the first part of 3. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not be in want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. I think that I paid the most attention to this part of the Bible verse. I was just starting to read, so my attention was rather strong at this point. I also think it is because of my own life situation. I work in customer service, and I find that I get flustered easily at work with some of the customers I have to work with. And oftentimes when I'm reading this, whenever I have a break in the break at work, this I find is a little helpful in calming down. Starting at verse 23 though, or verse 3, my attention perhaps begins to wane a little bit. He guides me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. But I'm not completely oblivious though of reading. And I think the important thing I get in this is that life is not about me. No matter how much flustered I get, this life is not about me, so I should not take everything that happens as though everything is bad. This life is about the Lord. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Paying a little less attention, but then I also don't really have enemies that are after my destruction, I think. And if I did have enemies after my destruction, the Lord is with me, so I could get through that. As I said earlier, I do work in customer service, so I do deal with some angry people, but a lot of the upsetness is rather petty, really. So I guess I really don't have anything bad to worry about right now. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. That line, you anoint my head with oil, I don't quite understand why people are so eager to have their heads anointed with oil or have oil poured on them. Well, I guess that kind of shows my lack of research, doesn't it? My cup overflows, however. Well, I'm poorer than I want to be, but I'm richer than I need to be. I'm not exactly I don't think I'm a very rich person. I don't exactly have a very high-paying job, but I do get my bills paid, and and I'm not starving, and really, realistically, I do have more than I need right now. Surely goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. My attention is at its lowest on this verse. I guess that's part of it's just reading it, starting off strong, and gradually your attention gets a little bit weaker. But I also wonder if this perhaps demonstrates a lack of trust that I have. And I guess that's probably one reason why I've started this video. series to try to get into the Bible more and pick up on that trust. My trust in God, that is. Now this is poetry, so surely goodness and love I should expect to be following me, but that does not mean that there will not be evil and hate. But again, going back to verse 4 and 5, the Lord is with you. The Lord is with me. And dwelling in the house of the Lord forever. At some point, this is going to happen in the future for people. I want to be among those people. So, improvements to be had. I need to be paying better attention to what I read. I think one thing that might help me is if I notice my attention dropping, is to stop reading, mark where I've stopped, and pick up again later. Whether it's maybe 5 seconds later or 5 minutes or an hour. Just stop, try to get your attention back, and start reading again. I also want to make regular notes throughout the week about and take a bit more careful thought about what I have going through my head. So that's my thoughts for this psalm. And in a little while, I'll be posting another video for my next verse that I'll be paying attention to for the next week of November 12th through the 18th. Thank you for watching.